This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by trainer Buddy McGirt here in Bournemouth. Buddy, how's life treating you?
Everything's good, man. I can't complain.
Glad to hear it. Have you ever been to Bournemouth before?
That's my first time.
You need to come back when you're top because you won't get a great impression from this cold weather.
That's what I was told, but we wait and see on that.
Well, we're here, and obviously you're a part of team Dan Azeez. How's Dan looking ahead of his fight with Rocky Fielding?
Everything's good, man. You know, we just maintain it right now and wait and get ready for Saturday.
What are you expecting from this fight? Obviously Dan's been active in his career, Rocky not so much. Will that play a part on Saturday night?
I couldn't hear you. Say that again.
Will the activity play a part on Saturday night? Obviously Dan being a lot more active than Rocky Fielding.
Oh yes, that, and you know, I mean, listen, Rocky has experience. You know what I mean? So the key is to go in there and take advantage of his inactivity, but be smart about it, not stupid.
What type of fight are you expecting?
A good one.
Break it down for me, buddy. I know you don't want to give too much away, but...
Well, listen, you know, Rocky has something to, you know, Rocky's got to come back and show that he's still a force to be reckoned with. We know that. And Dan is coming to prove that he's ready for the next level.
People are still kind of unsure as to how far Dan Azeez can go. You've worked with him, you've seen him train. When you consider the talents that you've worked with in your career and you currently have, where does Dan Azeez rank? How far can he go with his boxing career?
Well, he can be a world champion. We still got a lot of work ahead of us. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? I can't say, okay, we're going to fight for the title in the next 6 months. I'll be lying. We still got a ways to go. You know, he's still on the job training. And, you know, just got to take our time and get the right fights. But right now, we just got to take care of business Saturday.
I know with that in mind, you don't want to look beyond Saturday night, but if he is successful, what next for him in 2023?
I don't know. I mean, you got to ask him that.
Buddy, obviously, it's only a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now, we saw your charge, Dillian Whyte, overcome Whyte-Franklin in what was a very close fight. What did you make of Dillian's performance?
Well, it's like this. We had the perfect opponent to do what we worked on. You know what I mean? And I don't think the fight was as close as they said it was. But, hey, we got the W. You know, people saying to me, why you didn't make Dillian go out there and make it a war? It's like, why? Why make it a war if you don't have to? You know what I mean? We fought a guy who came to win, but at the same time was in survival mode. I wanted Dillian to work on his defense, work on his jab. You know what I mean? Just work on different things that we can add to the rest of his arsenal the next fight.
Buddy, how surprised were you then when you saw so many people commenting that felt that Jermaine had done enough to have his hand raised on the night?
Well, you know, listen, I can't judge a fight through other people's eyes. You know what I mean? I can't do that. But if you really watch the fight, Dillian dominated the whole fight. I mean, you know, listen, I give Franklin credit now. I'm not saying that, you know, it was a walk in the park because he did come to win. He did put up a good fight. I will say that. But do I think he won? No. You know what I mean? I thought Dillian won the fight. I didn't think it was as close as they had it.
Your first fight together, buddy, what impressed you the most from what you saw from Dillian?
How he listened. He listened. No matter, you know, there was a couple times he wanted to get out of character. Just relax. Just keep doing what we're doing. We might not get it the way the crowd wants you to get it, but we're going to get it done, and then we're going to take what we learned here and put it with the rest of your arsenal and go to the next level.
By the same token, what was you not best pleased with from what you saw from Dillian?
Him trying to kill a guy with every punch. I mean, there was times he was throwing punches, but the guy saw him coming because Dillian was loading up like crazy.
Whyte-Franklin will obviously be an unknown quantity on these shores. Was he a tougher test than what you thought he would be beforehand?
Yes, he was tougher. I'm not going to lie. He was tougher than I anticipated.
He's come through with a victory, though, so when you look at what's next, the Anthony-Joshua rematch has been mentioned quite a lot. Do you expect that to be Dillian's next outing?
You know what? I don't know, man.
You don't know, but how much does that whet your appetite? A potential rematch for Dillian versus Anthony, and what would be the outcome in that fight?
Well, if they had the rematch, Dillian, for sure.
What do you see in Anthony that you feel Dillian can take advantage of at this stage of their careers?
Can't tell you that.
I got to push you. I got to try and get something out of you, buddy.
Can't tell you that. You know what I mean? It's just, all I can tell you is that Dillian will come out on top.
Obviously, Anthony's out in the States at the minute, going around training with different people. We saw him with Derek James this past weekend. What do you make of him wanting to work with different trainers instead of settling down?
I guess he's trying to get that feel. You know what I mean? But me personally, and what I think he should do, come home. Come home, get the guys he started out with, the guys he won the championship with. Get them. They know him better than anybody. No one's going to make a difference in him overnight. It's going to take time. So if he gets another trainer, cool. But don't get another trainer and get into a super fight. No, take a lesser fight. That would be the smart way to do it, I believe. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? You get a new trainer. You don't get a new trainer, jump into a big fight. No. But that's what everyone's doing. And then if it don't work out, they want to blame the new trainer. I mean, you can't blame the new trainer. You guys got to get a chemistry together, especially if you've been fighting a long time, doing it a certain way. You know, 2-time and 3-time heavyweight champion. You know, you've been doing it a certain way for so long. Now you get a new trainer for 5 or 6 weeks. When you get into that heat of battle, you're going to resort to what you know best. But if you get a guy that's going to push you, but only push you but so far, where you can work on what you and the trainer are doing, then you're ahead of the game.
It's an interesting point you make there, buddy, because people have kind of questioned Anthony's mentality and if maybe he's struggling a little bit with the loss to Alexander Usyk and this kind of this record.
Come home. Get his original team back together.
If he would,
he's got too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, man.
With that in mind, and again, if you look towards next year, Dillian shares the ring with him. How does he go about beating him?
Say that again?
How does Dillian go about beating Anthony if they do share?
Can't tell you that either.
I had to try once more, buddy. But yeah, just whilst I've got you, obviously Callum Smith, your other charge, waiting in the wings. What's most likely for him next?
That I don't know. You know, I spoke to him the other day. He said he's waiting, so.
He's waiting. Obviously, we're waiting as well. He's waiting for Artur Beterbiev. Now, he's facing Anthony Yarde in January. Firstly, what are your thoughts on Beterbiev versus Yarde?
That's going to be an interesting fight. I see Yarde coming out early, winning. But then I feel after 5 or 6 rounds, Beterbiev taking control.
Do you think it ends with a stoppage?
Good question.
One that I'll get an answer from?
Good question. That's a good question. Very good question. Yeah, I don't know who, but somebody's getting stopped.
One thing with Artur Beterbiev, people have raised the point that the field, at some point he has to slow down. He's 38 now. He's been around for a long time as an amateur, not just at the pro ranks. Artur Beterbiev. So if he was to come through and Callum was to face him next, is that the time where you thought Artur will show that he is slowing down and Callum can capitalise on that?
Well, listen, whether he does that or not, I still feel Callum will beat him either way.
Callum beats him either way, but will Callum stop him?
I don't like to predict knockouts. I'm just going to say victory. I don't like to predict knockouts. I don't like doing that.
One final one of yours that I want to get an update on is Janibek. Extremely talented fighter, buddy. What's happening with him? We saw Jaime Munguia turn down the WBO ordered fight. It would have been a terrific fight from a boxing fan's perspective. So where do things stand with Janibek now?
Hey, listen, man, I don't know what's going on, man, in boxing today, man. When you get guys turn down title fights, there's something wrong.
Well, buddy, we'll leave that there. Now, in fact, we won't. I've got one final one to get your thoughts on. Obviously, Fury-Chisora, December 3rd. Derek, your man, somebody you worked with previously. What were your thoughts on that fight?
I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't see the fight. I heard about it, but I got to say to my man, Derek, you know I love you, homeboy. I'm with you from the womb to the tomb. You know what I'm saying? And, you know how I feel, baby. Just take care of yourself, my brother. You're my man.
Should he hang him up?
I'm not going to say that. I'm never be one to tell a man when to, you know what I mean? But understand this, big man. I call him big man. You know what I mean? Whatever decision you make, you got my love and respect. I back you.
Buddy, is there any chance at some point you two link back up and work together again?
Me and who?
Derek.
Derek, listen, I honestly, to be honest with you, I'll do anything in the world for Derek, man. Derek's a great guy, man. He's a great, Derek, Dylan, Callum, Dan, all these guys, man, they all great guys. I've been blessed, man. I got blessed with a good group of guys, man. They all good, man.
Buddy, you're not so bad yourself, and I appreciate your time. Enjoy Saturday night. Obviously, good luck to you and the team. Thanks for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Thank you.